Hey gang, what's going on? Hope you're doing well. I have two important pieces of news pertaining to this lockout, and I want to share them with you this morning. But before I do that, if you're not subscribed to this channel, make sure you do that right now if you want to be kept in on the loop with the lockout and everything that happens after it. Because once this lockout ends, we're going to get slammed with free agents and trades and all different types of stuff. So if you want to be in on everything, this is the place where you're going to get it. So with that, the MLB owners are meeting on between Tuesday and Thursday in Orlando, Florida, with the expectation from the union is that they're going to come up with a counter proposal now that the union has rejected their request for mediation to help string along this process. They put the onus on the owners, and the fact is, the owners have to step up to the plate. They're going to have to do some things, okay? The union has already made compromises. One of them, they haven't really made any changes to the service time manipulation thing, or just service time towards free agency. So they haven't shortened it, the 6-year path from 3 years of pre-arb and arb. So one of the things that they're expecting is and the union is already, the owners have already agreed to raise the minimum salary from $570 to $610 for people with zero service time, but that's going to have to go up even more. And the fact is, if you're not shortening the path to free agency, they're going to have to raise all three levels: 0 years, 1 year, and 2 year. All pre-arbitration years, they're going to have to raise the salary levels. There's no doubt about it. So that's one of the things. The later we get into spring training, or approaching spring training, which is pitchers and catchers are supposed to report on the 16th of February, the more likely there's going to be a delay in spring training, potentially the season, but hopefully not the season. But with that said, the MLB owners will be wise to come up with an offer immediately after they, sit down and do with their meeting and stuff like that. But the other component to this, I'm going to read you off a list of names, Yankee players. Pitchers first: Albert Abreu, Davy Garcia, Yoendris Gomez, Luis Hill, Ron Marinaccio, Luis Medina, Steven Ridings, Clark Schmidt, J.P. Sears. Now, infielders: Oswald Peraza and Oswaldo Cabrera. Outfielders: Miguel Andujar, Estevan Florial, and Everson Pereira. Some highly touted prospects, guys who have already, experienced a little bit of major league action, or guys that are close and could be potentially starting, players this year. Now, I just read off 14 guys. Now, why did I read them off? Because all these guys are on the 40-man roster, okay? And the reason why I mention that is because every player that's on the 40-man roster, even these guys, they cannot report to minor league spring training, which is going to be on time, okay? They cannot report until the major league lockout is over, meaning this sets guys back like Oswald Peraza, Cabrera, and stuff like that. It cuts into their preparation period for their season, which has been increased to 150 games, at least AAA. But guys like, Jason Dominguez and Trey Sweeney and some of those, Anthony Volpe, they're not on the 40-man roster yet, so they're going to have a full wind-up and a full warm-up with their spring training. So, again, and this is not only the Yankees, this is any team that has minor leaguers who are on the 40-man roster, particularly even if they're protected from the Rule 5 draft. They have to wait until the MLB lockout ends. So if their MLB lockout doesn't end until April, these kids are waiting as well as all the major league players. So it ends in May, they're waiting the same amount of time. So keep in mind, it has a ripple effect at the minor league level and the major league level. So the longer this goes, the more hurtful and the more detrimental it's going to be, not only to the game, but to the development of certain players. So these guys would be wise to get this thing done sooner than later. And I understand, the players and the union has been under the feeling that they've lost the last two seat collective bargaining agreements and blah, blah, and they don't want to happen a third time. I get it. And the owners have, been on the advantageous side of a lot of these things, or on the winning side of a lot of these things. But the fact is, the players make a boatload of money at the top. But I'm full in agreement that the rookie players need to make more money, especially the 3 pre-arb years. So then, because after that, then there's negotiating new salaries and there's more substantial raises during the arbitration years than they are in the pre-arb years. So they have to up the pre-arb years. And there's a lot of other things that they still need to iron over, obviously. But the update is right now, the owners are meeting this week. They have to come up with something concrete and credible so that the union can either agree to or counter with something. And they have to make a significant step forward this week. Otherwise, again, this can have a ripple effect in multiple ways. So that's why I brought up those guys. Whether you knew it or not, I wanted you to have an understanding of that regard too, because it does affect him. Oswald Peraza could very well be the starting shortstop for the Yankees, right? Clark Schmidt could be part of the bullpen. There's a lot of these guys. Luis Hill expected to be one of the mainstays in the rotation. And again, A lot of them are, for the majority of them are not going to start or would not start the season with the major league team. So, but some of these guys very likely could or will. So that's why I wanted to bring that up. And again, some of these guys are close, Oswaldo Cabrera and some of these other guys. So the delay affects them and affects their progression towards the major leagues too. So, but that's the news right now I have for you. I will keep it coming. You know what to do if you don't want to miss what's going on, particularly after this lockout. So let's get that done. And please share this channel with other folks and always give me your feedback in the comments. I appreciate it. And maybe I'll see you on a live stream this week, either Wednesday night or Saturday night. Have a good week, guys. Talk to you later.